Thanks, Mike. I'm going to tell 3 stories. The first is about a young couple, just had their first child. The wife walks into the child's bedroom. She sees the husband leaning over the crib, looking down. She thought, what a heartwarming story. She goes up to her husband and says, so, penny for your thoughts. And he says, I can't believe that they can manufacture that crib for $49.99. And this story is all about manufacturing. The second story I want to tell you about is American Fuel Cell. 3 years ago, when GM closed their research facility, they thought all 400 people that were working there would move to Michigan. What they didn't understand is Rochester is a great place to live and work, and we have a great quality of life here. And so, turns out only 40% of those people decided to move to Michigan. So what that means is we have a wealth of fuel cell expertise, a supplier network, and some really excellent resources right here in Rochester. To me, that's an excellent opportunity for all those resources to be utilized. So when I left General Motors, because I decided not to go to Michigan as well, I decided to start a consulting company. And every time I would go out and consult on fuel cells, everyone would ask me the same question. Why aren't we utilizing those resources in Rochester? What's going on with those resources? Finally, I ran into Doug Burkle, and he told me, hey, why don't you join our Nexus program? So we did. So my partner, Dave Wetter, and I, we got together, joined the program, and decided to put the band back together for fuel cells in Rochester. So we've got a great team. We've got over a dozen people working with us now, and we hope to add more. We need a little quality work as we move forward. How a fuel cell works is pretty simple. As long as you have hydrogen on one side of the membrane and you have air, which is oxygen, on the other side, it makes clean, efficient electricity. That's a really good thing. When you make that electricity, the only byproduct is heat and water. So our goal is to bring those fuel cell jobs back here to Rochester, leveraging those local resources. Right now, we're focused on 2 markets, the mobility, which is forklifts, and backup cell tower applications. And that market is about to double in the next 2 years to right around $375 million. We've made great progress because we want to be in that market. I want a piece of that pie. So we've sold parts to the Navy. They loved our product. We have an MOU with a first real big customer for 40,000 units. And we also are ramping up to production to make those units in the November timeframe. So great progress. But to be honest, we couldn't have made that progress alone. We've had a lot of help from a lot of different people. Great effort from Nexus. We're a graduate now, and we love the program. From that program, we did some outreach to our customers, and they were consistent in their message. You've got to get the cost out of the membrane electrode assembly inside of a fuel cell. That's our product. So that's where we're focused. The EIR program's been great. We've got an outstanding mentor with Rick Richmond, who's helped us through a lot of difficult situations. Continue to make great progress through the MEPS program on manufacturing our product here in Rochester. We've worked with NYSERDA to get a pretty good grant from bench to prototype. So we're in the process of ramping up to production. We've got a great relationship with RIT, Cornell, and Alfred to do some of our testing. So really, we're making great progress, and it was all thanks to the various programs through High Tech Rochester. So thanks to everybody. Our current status is pretty interesting. We have a proprietary secret sauce formulation. We have a thin film roll coating capability at Kodak that we've optimized in order to make our product, so our manufacturing is very low cost. We're at the point where we have an actual saleable product that we're starting to ramp up in production. And like I said, we also have that memorandum of understanding for the first 40,000 units. So we're pretty excited about that. I want to take you on my third story, and that is about the other electric vehicle. A lot of focus today about the battery electric vehicles and where they're headed and how that market's going to expand, but there's also the other electric vehicle, and that's the fuel cell vehicle. And now Toyota's in production with those vehicles. It makes clean, efficient energy. It has some advantage over batteries because it's a fast refill, and it has extended range compared to a battery vehicle. So think about this story, and I want to tell you the last story is the what if story. What if 85 million vehicles were sold last year in the world. What if just 1% of those vehicles turns out to be fuel cell vehicles? That's 1 million fuel cell vehicles a year. Each fuel cell vehicle uses 350 membrane electrode assemblies. Do the math there, and that comes out to 1 million MEAs a day. And I'll ask you, why wouldn't we want to manufacture those MEAs here in Rochester? Why wouldn't American Fuel Cell want to go after that? And why wouldn't we leverage the Kodak equipment to make Rochester the MEA manufacturing capital of the world? Thank you.